everybody. It's Nina Motivates. Hey, everybody, I'm so excited. It is Dr. Nina Addison. Y'all know I'm never going to get rid of Nina Motivates. That's just my thing. That's just what I say. But here I'm Dr. Nina Addison, the You Can specialist. And you are listening to or watching The You Can Show live every Monday at 5:30 p.m. right here on ICU Radio. Or you may be watching this on YouTube. So YouTube versions, I love it because you all are able to oh man, I worked late. I couldn't catch her live. Well, you can always catch me on YouTube. So even if you're listening to ICU Radio, make sure you follow me on YouTube at Nina Motivate so you don't have to miss a You Can Show because they are all so amazing. And today is going to be just more amazing. Okay. Every week it get better, right? And I'm so excited because I have a special guest today. But before I get into that, I want to tell you all about this week's sponsor. I want to give a shout out to my sister, Michelle D. Garrett, and her business, Purposely Productive with Michelle D. Garrett. Purposely Productive helps female entrepreneurs simplify their businesses. Stay consistent. Y'all, she good with that. She be on us. And focus on the actions that actually generate income. Through practical tools, coaching, and community support, Michelle helps women turn their ideas into clear plans so they can grow profitable businesses without burnout. I'm in her group on Facebook. She literally gives us small little steps. Y'all, she does so much more than this. She has a sticker club, all things Michelle. You all can learn more about Michelle on her website at purposefullyproductive.com. You want to go there. You want to check her out. If you're on Facebook, she has a Facebook group. If you're on YouTube, guess what? She's there too. So all you have to do is go over to my YouTube, and y'all already know all her information is in the description. And if you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead, click below and grab her information because you absolutely want to grab it. You absolutely want to connect with her. We met back in the Periscope days, and y'all, we've been sisters ever since, okay? She's come to Chicago, so I have met her and all of the things. Michelle is someone you absolutely should know, and I thank Michelle for investing in herself. And if you want to be a sponsor, go ahead over to my link tree, Nina Motivates, and go ahead and grab your spot. Y'all notice I've been doing like 2 weeks instead of 1 week per sponsor. So come on and get it while it's hot. All right, y'all, we finna get into this amazing interview. I'm so super excited. I'm going to read her bio, but I will say every single time that I'm in the presence of Denice, I feel calm and I feel the love and I feel her presence. I feel peace from her. And I understand why she is the founder of Caregivers Safe Space because she just have a serenity about her that I just had to have her on the show. So I'm going to read her bio, and then I'm going to let her introduce herself because I know y'all like, okay, we want to hear her voice. We want to meet her too. I know. Hold on. Here she comes. Denice Rhodes is the founder and CEO of Caregivers Safe Space, a nonprofit dedicated to supporting the mental health and wellness of caregivers because that's important, y'all. Her passion comes from personal experience, caring for her son on the autism spectrum, her father who struggled with depression, and her husband who passed away from dementia in 2024. Denice now advocates for caregivers by creating spaces where they can find support, community, and resources while caring for others. So if y'all know some caregivers, if you may be thinking that you may become one, you would never know what life will bring you, okay? You heard her father, her child, and her son, okay? So, wait, I said her father, her child, and her son. Y'all know this brain sometimes. Let me say it over. Her father, her husband, and her son, okay? So, she has a wealth of knowledge. And we're going to introduce you now to Miss Denice. Hi, Denice.
Hi, Nina, and thank you so much for having me here today. I am so honored and blessed to be here on this wonderful show today.
Thank you for being here. You know, I read your bio, but you're you. Nobody can tell people about you other than you. So I want you to go ahead and tell people a little bit more about you in your own words, and then just go right into telling us about your journey, because your father, your husband, and your son. And I definitely always want to give condolences because I know your husband has since passed away, but you've had a journey, and your journey helps other people. So I'm just gonna let you talk.
Well, I don't even know where to begin because basically, okay, let's start with who I am. I am a mother, a sister, a daughter, wife, grandmother, and by nature, I'm a caregiver. That is just who I am. But before becoming a caregiver, I worked 30 years in banking industry. I would have never thought that I would become an entrepreneur. If somebody told me back in my 20s that where I am today, that I would be doing this, I would say, no, no, I won't be. But my nature is to nurture other people, and I give so much to my family. I love my family, my kids, my grandkids. So, yeah, that's just who I am, just naturally. But this journey started 38 years ago when I had my son who was born on the spectrum. At that time, he was 2 years old before he was diagnosed because they thought he had asthma, they thought he had a breathing problem, and come to find out he was having seizures.
Oh, wow.
So, it was a misdiagnosis because they thinking it's one thing until they actually saw it in the office. Because I'm describing, his lips is getting blue, and he just all of a sudden just passes out. So she thought that it was asthma because when she would listen to his chest, all she heard was this, the noise of a person that has asthma. But one day he was in the hospital for an ear infection, and he had a seizure right there,
Wow.
and they got to see it. So then they were like, oh my God. So then, okay, here we go. Now we're on this journey of him being diagnosed with seizure disorder. And as that, he was 2 years old when we got the diagnosis that he was on the spectrum. So that was, how that, well, you don't know how that is, but your mother knows
Right.
how it is to get the news of different things with your child.
Yeah.
But, with mother's love, I don't care. He's still my son.
I know
I'm
that's
going to still love this child like nothing is wrong. So as he progressed through life, David's 38 years old now, and he's had some health issues over the years. Um, but he is a very outgoing, loving person.
he
And
is.
so
I've met
he
him.
is my first. Yes, you know him. And so he is just a very outgoing person. And so that started my first journey of being a caregiver. And that he really changed my life because I'm the youngest and only girl. So I
Wow.
was spoiled, and I was probably self-centered. And once my son came in the world, I I became a whole new person. I became passionate. And I tell everybody, life is a journey because who you start out, and for everybody out there, I'm 65 years old. So you start out thinking your life is going to be one way.
Yeah.
And then every 10 years, I felt like I changed as a person. My life changed, things happen, life happens. I was married to my children's father. Things didn't work out. So that was my first journey. Then I remarried probably 8 years after we divorced. And then I started a new journey. And that's when I met, my second husband, who got diagnosed with dementia in 2022. And that was another journey. But also in that journey, I have my father. And during COVID, my dad suffers from depression. My mom passed away in 1998. And so my dad never remarried. So as life goes on, he was suffering from depression from the time I mean, matter of fact, I was pregnant with David when my father first got diagnosed with depression. And for family members that are out there, for me, my dad was my everything. I was a proud baby, his baby girl. He was my everything. But depression, when I saw his signs of depression, I was just like, oh, he just want attention. So, sometimes we have to take that time. And like I said, I was in my well, no, David, I was 27. So I was 27, don't know nothing about life, don't know the signs, and then just brushing off the signs. Even though my mother, thank God my mother was around, she took him to the hospital and got him diagnosed. And then, life goes on. But then during COVID, I became his caregiver because I didn't want him in Mississippi by himself because he lived alone in Mississippi. You can stop me anytime you want
No,
to.
no, no. Keep going. Mm-mm.
So during COVID, he came here. So I was taking care of three men. And that's a whole nother story, girl. Well,
Yeah.
you got two men in your household.
Yeah, but your story is I'm hugging you right now. You were taking care of three.
But each one had their own unique way of living. My dad, he think he's the senior. Well, he is the senior, and he think that he's in another man's house. So how that can be. I had to
Yeah.
tell Dad, I have a husband. And you can't run things. But
Right.
overall, we all got along pretty well. Of
Good.
course, we're gonna have ups and downs and differences, but it was. I gotta say, it was a wonderful time to have all three of the men in my life there with me.
Yeah.
But it was challenging too. So as my husband his situation got worse, my dad went back and stayed with my brother. So then I just had my husband and David.
Yeah.
And during that time, my husband started falling. So we had to put him in a nursing home because I couldn't lift him. So he had so many falls. The doctor was like, you can't keep calling the paramedics,
Yeah.
because he's fallen. And then things just started, his health just started getting worse.
Mm.
And so he was there and he passed away. He was there for about I think 3 months because he had an aggressive dementia.
Mm.
And I don't know if I want to go. It's still new with me talking
Yeah.
about it. So,
Only
but
share
yeah,
what you're comfortable with sharing. Nope.
okay. So yeah, so then that was his time with us. We miss him so much, especially my son. The one thing that I loved about my husband was when he met my son, they clicked like
Yeah.
that.
I
David
love
would
it.
say, "That's my best friend." And I'll be like, "Your best friend." And he still say today, "James, my best friend." And I say, "Yep, he was your best friend."
Love it.
So from that point, so once he passed, about a week afterwards, I was laying in bed. And about divine intervention, things just happen. I'm laying there in bed, and something just came and said to me, God said, "Who's taking care of the caregivers?" And I was like, wow. Because at that time, for 2 days, I couldn't get out of bed after he passed because I was
Yeah.
exhausted from going every day. I would go in the morning to feed him at the nursing home, and then every evening I would go and feed him for dinner every
Yeah.
day.
Wow.
And so I had just couldn't get out of bed. I just was exhausted. And
Yeah.
so I realized I had burnout, started talking to some people, and they were like, you got to take care of yourself. So I was like, well, who's taking care of the caregivers? So I was talking to my friends and everything, and then I started asking everybody, well, what should I name it? What should I name it? So we had several names, and Safe Space spoke to me because I wanted to be a safe space for people to come so they could share their stories and we could just, have a place where everybody was welcome. And it initially started to be a place for parents of special needs community.
Mm.
And I had to quickly change it because some of my friends that's in the nursing field was like, well, what about us? We need care too. And I was just like, you know what? And then I was thinking aging too. I started just focusing on the special needs community and aging adults. And again, I had some other people come and say, it has to be for all caregivers. So now we welcome all caregivers of all walks of
Yes.
life to come in and be a part of Caregivers Safe Space.
Love it. Tell us about Caregiver Safe Space. But I have some questions for you. But first, let's go ahead and talk about Caregiver Safe Space.
Caregiver Safe Space, our mission is to help caregivers with mental health, nutrition, wellness, exercise, and a support group. So we have a support group every month. We meet once a month. During the winter months, we're meeting via Zoom. When summertime comes, springtime, we'll be meeting in different locations. Because at our meetings, I want you to walk away with knowledge, but also exercise. Because caregivers do not pay more attention to their own health. They don't eat properly, they don't get the proper sleep. And so my mission is to make sure that they know about nutrition, they move their body for at least 20 minutes a day, and for them to have a place to just say whatever they want to say and not be judged, because that's basically it. Because we know the stress of being a caregiver, and they won't, some people will say, mean things about being a caregiver because you're frustrated. You have a lot stress on you. So here we won't judge because we understand. So then the other thing about Caregiver Safe Space is we again we meet once a month. In the summertime, we have a walking group. We're gonna restart that this spring, where we're gonna walk once a week. Last year was every Saturday at 10 a.m. We walked in Veterans Park in South Holland, Illinois. So if you want to be a part of the walking group, let me know. We will work the schedule based upon the group, what works for everyone. Then we also have, I partner with the You Belong Foundation, the
Yeah.
You Belong Foundation, where we're doing a brunch every other month. And the next one is next Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So if you all are interested, we're calling all caregivers, women, men, anyone that is interested in being a part of a brunch where you come and you can socialize. It's again a safe space where you
Yeah.
can come and share information or just be a part of a group of people that is giving so much back to the community. What else about Caregiver Safe Space? Well, we'll be celebrating our 1 year anniversary. Yeah,
When is that?
that is, so save the date, May 23rd. We're gonna have a afternoon it'll probably be like an afternoon um, brunch. And so, but it is gonna be May 23rd, and it'll probably be from 2 to 5. So save the date. That should be coming out very soon. Information about that. We're finalizing everything right now. And that's all I can think about right now. Trying to
Listen,
see
I'm gonna
what
make
else.
sure that if you're listening to this live on ICU Radio, you got it. Y'all know how I do. You got to go over to YouTube. Why? Because you want to get all of the links. The link for the brunch. You want the link for. Do you have a website or how can people find you?
Yes, so you can go to our website. It's caregivers. So it's CAREGIVERSpace.com is our website. And
So
you use the same
everything
thing
you
for,
need, all of the work. So are your workshops and the things that's coming up on your website?
yes, everything will be there. You go to, I think it's under our services,
Okay.
and then it's going to be like events. And so to have our monthly group meeting, it'll have the Zoom link if you want to join. Our next meeting will be, like I said, the 23rd, and it's going to be on um, mapping and managing grief. So a
Ooh,
lot of people recently are losing a lot of family members. And so we want to talk about grief. I need it. I need it.
yeah,
I'm 2 years in and I still need to talk to somebody about grief.
yeah.
So often, we push it away. I'm good for pushing stuff and not dealing with it right up front. So I'm telling you all, if you push it away, you'll start having ulcers. You'll start making yourself sick because stress and pain finds a way somewhere in your body. And so we don't want illness or any of that. So please get help. So, like I said, main thing is mental health with caregiver safe space because that's again, like I say, I push things away too. And so I have someone that I talk to on a monthly
Mhm.
basis to help me through because we all need that.
I love it. I love it. So again, y'all, and she has a social media presence. We're gonna talk about that because I want you all to go follow, like, subscribe, all of the things, okay? Because at some point of life, I think most people become a caregiver in some way. You look at it, we all are going, it is not even about getting older. You just never know what you're going to experience. And like you said, like my mom, she didn't know I was going to have a physical difference. She didn't find out until I came out. And she like, wait, what's wrong with my baby? Like, wait. So sometimes parents, aren't prepared. They don't know. I know they have all the tests and they could tell you, oh, this and this and that could possibly, but even in your case, nothing was diagnosed for years. So you were raising your son and not knowing that something was different, okay? Because y'all know how I am. Y'all already know his difference makes a difference, and I promise you, he gives the best hugs. Period. Okay, so um, when you don't know that, like, how was it for you once you got? I have a few questions for you, but first, let me pause so y'all know I'll go everywhere. You're on social media. What social media platforms? I know you're on Facebook. What other platforms are you on? Because I want y'all to go follow her. Y'all go follow her now.
Instagram and I'm on LinkedIn. And
Instagram
oh,
and
and I'm
LinkedIn.
on TikTok. I'm on
Hey,
TikTok. Woo-hoo.
Caregiver Safe Space. Go look it up. Y'all want to support because this is not just support for her. This is support for you. That's my next question before I go back. Because even with Caregiver Space Safe Space, you're still pouring, you're still planning, you're still giving. What does Denice do for Denice?
I got to go back to one thing that you said when you talked about both parents, your mother being when she first found out about you and when I found out about David. And this is another thing. We take on responsibility for that as parents.
Yep.
And so, what did I do wrong? And a lot of times we don't address that then. So, just to let you know, I did not see a psychologist until David was 27 years old. So, for 27 years old, I'm holding in a lot of guilt, a lot of shame because, of course, it's my fault, all of that. And so, that's why I want everybody to understand that you need to talk to somebody. We all hold on to so many things that we need to address with a professional. Okay. You all, not with your girlfriends, not with your mother, father, friends. You need a professional because it helped me so much.
And
It
thank you
did.
for saying that. Mama, I know you're listening. I know you're listening. And for years, my mom wouldn't say she felt guilty, but I saw it on her face. And I felt like I had the responsibility of making her feel comfortable because I loved who I became and who I was. Of course, I dealt with certain things as a kid, but I really like I'm supposed to be like this. And so I had to tell her one day, and I don't know if she remembered, but I was like, stop taking credit for God, what God did. and I was hoping that that would make her understand that there was nothing that she did wrong, because like you said, I was a child and I was able to see the guilt on her for a year, and probably well into my 30s, and she doesn't even know that. And so,
Yeah,
now she's very comfortable. She had to get used to me telling jokes and different things. So thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that. Not just for my mom, but I don't know who's listening who needed that. So I'm
yeah.
so glad that God had you to say that. Now tell me what you do for you. I ain't gonna forget that question.
Well, the funny part about me is that I first enjoy doing stuff for people. I
Yeah.
enjoy that. So, but for me, I'm a person that likes to travel. So I do travel. I take trips at least once a year. Where did I go last year? Oh, I went on a couple of trips last year. My daughter took me
Good.
to Vegas. And of course, I went to see my father in Mississippi. And I know it's somewhere else. I'm forgetting where else I went. But the year before that, I was in Dubai. So I do try to travel, try to see the world, to see what else is out here, and to just experience life to its fullest. But that's like one of the things that I enjoy doing. Then,
Good.
oh, I know where I went last year, to Jamaica. I almost got caught up in the storm. I got out of there just in time.
And I
Yes.
remember that. I
Yeah.
remember Wendy talking about Denise got out.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So
Praise
that's one
God.
thing. And then the other thing that I like to do, I like to get massages because I get stressed.
Mm-hmm.
Even though David is he's pretty much self-sufficient, but he works my nerves. So I try I give me massages. I do it quarterly, every 3 months. So
Good.
massages, and then I'm a walker. So I love to go out in nature, and that's my peace. So if you follow me on Facebook, when I do walk, I do go live in the park. And so those are like my top three.
Good. And I asked that because you're still taking care of people even in caregiver safe space. You're doing all the planning, all the behind the scenes, and then even day of, yeah, you're receiving, but you're still watching. You're still, you're still working. You're always working.
That's, but that's just who I am. And it's
Yeah.
that's just who
Yep.
caregivers are. Sometimes we just don't know how to sit down.
Yeah.
But I'm learning. I'm really learning because even the last 2 days, I'm all, oh, two
You're
days
fine.
ago, I just been laying around and I'm thinking, why am I laying around? So sometimes your body just says, hey, you need to stop, you need to
Yep.
rest. And so I did. I listened. Finally, I listened.
Good. And do it more often. Because, oh, yep. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. And sometimes you just have to pause. You just have to. So that's good. And I love that. And you're right. When you just, that at nature, it's just gonna happen. It's just going to, I'm gonna be the one to take care. I'm gonna be the one to get the job done. I'm gonna be the one to make sure everybody else is okay. That's why I had to make sure I asked you, how are you making sure that you're okay? And so every time I see you, you're supporting. I see you support a lot. And so if you all are listening to this, watching this, or whatever the case may be, she is absolutely someone that's worth your support. It's free to go and follow her on social media. So go and
Yes.
follow. When her 1 year comes out and you're able to come on and join. If you can't come and it's a ticketed event and you are able to sponsor a ticket, sponsor a ticket. Y'all know, when I put my name and I tell y'all something and somebody's good, I ain't stirred y'all wrong this long. I ain't gonna steer y'all wrong now, okay? So you want to, and I can't wait until next Friday. Oh, we're gonna get together on the 13th.
Yes,
So
we
you all
are.
are
Yes,
hearing this
we are.
Monday, and but come join us on Friday. Again, the link will be in the YouTube description because it is a great space. It is a space for parents, it's a space for caregivers, and the food is really good. Okay, the food is really good, and we always have a great time. So I'm so glad that the brunches are back, and that the You Belong Foundation, as well as the Caregiver Safe Space, is partnered. That's a tongue tie. If you try to say it too fast, I got to slow down sometime. But the name is exactly what it is, and then you can learn more about what's going on the 23rd, okay? So that you can get in. I heard I missed one of the good ones. They all good, okay? So come on and join. Oh my gosh, the time always goes so fast. But I never, ever, ever end a show without asking for a you can moment. And I know there's caregivers listening in. And so I want to give you an opportunity and thank God. Thank you. Thank you to my wonderful, wonderful ICU family that always allows me to go for 30 minutes because y'all know the good be getting good and they be going good and they never stop the show. So thank you. But I do want to give you an opportunity to give them a you can moment and then let people know how they can find you and follow you for those who are listening to it live and won't go over to YouTube because I don't want anybody to miss out. I know we gave them the website, but would you like them to follow you on your personal social media or anything? Let us know.
Me on Facebook is Denice Jackson Rhodes. So I spell my name a little different. My name is spelled Denice. So Denice Jackson Rhodes on Facebook. On LinkedIn, I am Denice Rhodes, Caregivers Safe Space on LinkedIn and on TikTok. So that's how you can find me. So you can, it's you can, is
Yep.
that what? So you can, let's see. The you can moment for me is becoming a CEO and founder of Caregiver Safe Space. So I told you a little bit about me. I had 30 years in banking. I did 8 years with Illinois Housing. I don't know if I should say that, but anyway, I did 8 years with Illinois Housing and became a caregiver to my son at birth, but then my father and my husband, not knowing that one day I would be a CEO of a nonprofit caregiver safe space. So if I can become a CEO, you can become whatever it is that you decide you want to be. So I can do it, you can too. So that's my you can.
I love it. I love it. You never know how life is going to take you, but go along for the ride. I love it. I felt so empowered myself with that. So that was a great you can moment. Denise, I want to thank you so much for taking time out. I want to thank you for Caregiver Safe Space, excuse me, for considering other people and for stepping outside of your comfort zone and being able to speak about it and do the things that you do. I mean, I feel like I'm gonna have to have you to come back for a second show because we didn't even talk about the fact that you have other kids outside of just David. So it's so much more that we could talk about. So y'all will see her again, okay? You're gonna hear from her again as she grow, maybe close to her 1 year. We'll talk about it. And so I want to thank you again for taking time out to educate and inspire because this was very inspiring. It's so many people in the world that is taking care of people and thinking, what about me? Feeling like they're alone and not knowing that there's a space for them, that they can come and take up some space and it can be safe as a caregiver. You see how I did that? Ooh. And
Yes.
so I want to thank you so much for sharing your time, your wisdom, your experiences, not just with me, but with the world. And so you all, you know how I am. Go follow her, go find her, and it's easy if you go to Facebook because I'm gonna have all of the links there. I mean, social media, well, Facebook too, Facebook and YouTube. I'll have all of the links there. And I knew the time was gonna go fast, but I know you got enough to know that you're not forgotten about, that there's a safe space for you. And if you're someone on this journey and you're feeling overwhelmed, here you go. You have someone that you can go and reach out to. Don't blow her inbox up too much, but blow her inbox up, okay? Go to her inbox and talk to her and get connected because she shared some very, very wise counsel here, especially those of you who may be first time parents of children with differences, aka disabilities. It's okay to talk to someone. It's okay to seek counsel. It's okay to get the help you need. because we don't want you out here feeling guilty when your child needs you thriving, not just surviving. Okay. So again, I want to thank my sponsor for the week, Michelle D. Garrett of Purposely Productive. Okay, you all make sure you check her out at purposefullyproductive.com and on all social media sites. And if you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead, check below and click the links and go ahead and get connected. You want to be a part of all of these amazing women. It is Women's History Month after all. So go ahead and support an amazing woman who's doing amazing things. And I want to thank you all for tuning in to the You Can Show, where you get your weekly dose of fire, faith, and fuel to know that you absolutely can live bigger, walk bolder, and live in your purpose. I am Dr. Nina Addison, your host, and I'll talk to you all next week. Bye for now.